Like I said, one night barbecue came up, and Lawrence was just like, you know,
I'll never forget.
he really liked barbecue.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, he wasn't talking about eating barbecue. Like, he was talking about it like a scientist. And yeah, I'm a nerd too. And this dude's getting into like, you know, the process of making barbecue, which again, as an eater, I never fully appreciated. And like, the more he gets into it, I'm like, shit, I'm into barbecue too. You know, like he's just like oozing it. And literally, I mean, it wasn't that night, but within a week, you know, I'm in his backyard around, and he's got this like,
I was working on that little Traeger at the time.
Yeah, this like home barbecue.
Yeah.
And you said Traeger at that time. I never even learned about Traeger until I moved to Hawaii. Yeah. Like I didn't even know Traeger always existed.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So you were using a Traeger what?
I had a Traeger in the backyard to do to work on kind of like rubs and sauces, and because it's literally like an easy bake oven for barbecue guys. Like you hit the button, it holds a temp. It's wood pellets. It can make a backyard guy feel like a soldier. Like
have they blown up recently?
Oh, they've gotten massive.
Is it recent or is it just because I'm in Hawaii and all these dudes are?
No, it's just getting bigger. They've done a great job at marketing, great job at their ambassadors. I know a bunch of them. One of their ambassadors is Canadian, Danielle Divacue. She's a good friend of mine. She does all their classes for them all through Europe.
So they've been doing this for a long time.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Everyone's just finding out about it.
Yeah,
other than you barbecue nerds.
Yeah, other than the hardcore nerd market.
Well, you have to share a little bit about because basically I didn't realize
about my first brisket ever cooked and how bad it was.
Well, no, seriously, because I didn't realize there's I don't know how to describe it other than like an apprenticeship. But it's like a home apprenticeship. Like, explain what you were doing there is like logging hours, right? Like, you weren't just cooking barbecue for buddies. You were like...
No, I was trying to... I got really deep into it. I was really passionate about it. I loved it. And I tasted the stuff down south, and they're coming up, and I had that kind of like that food memory, that taste memory of what barbecue can taste like and what it could be. And don't get me wrong, I taste a lot of really bad barbecue. Yeah. I taste a lot of really good barbecue. There's not. I think like everything, now that it's stuff like Food Network and stuff like that are great. It makes people care about food and where it comes from and how it's made. And now, so you get a lot of people who have a lot more access to knowledge.
The appreciation is much greater now.
And it's funny because I got the background on it. They see the TV version, so it's really glamorous.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I can do that. It's amazing. There's no difference than the guys who I learned how to cook barbecue from and the amazing masters who have like a ton of Michelin stars. The Thomas Kellers and all these guys. Like anyone who's come out of their kitchen, hopefully has been graced with the knowledge of and the opportunity to be around someone who's great at what they do. Same with barbecue. I've had the opportunity to cook with and cook for people who are exceptional, and it's funny because they're some of the most modest because they take it for granted. They're like, this is the way my daddy's daddy did it.
Well, you say did it, and that's what I'm honing in on. Is like the talent, whatever, but all these badasses were always just hard working, right? Like
there's you
got to put in your time.
The new school guys are is a smaller margin than the guys who've been doing it in their families forever. Right, so they
literally, it's like legacy. But I mean, it's passed down.
Yeah, like a guy like Sam Jones, his family's been doing it for like 90 years. Wayne Miller down in Texas, he's Sam is just a whole hog cooker, and that's all they've done his entire life since he was a little boy. His grandfather and his dad and him and his uncles had a restaurant, and they cooked whole hogs forever. You go in there for the longest time. Their menu is chopped hog on a plate with coleslaw and cornbread, or chopped hog on a bun.
And there's a lineup.
And there's a lineup.
Getting, and it's
and
perfect.
People go there, and it's
well. They got white bread too, Lawrence.
Yeah, that's true.
Get like one single slice of Wonder Bread. You get the cornbread.
I'm gonna stop it up.
I remember I stopped doing that on the plates here, and that's kind of how you evolve as a business owner. So that people would be like, every single piece of white bread would come back and make I'm like, people are starving in the streets and I'm throwing away white bread. I'm like, so I have it in the restaurant now when people ask for it. And if you ask for it, I'm coming to your table because y'all know what you're talking about.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay.